South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard appears to have lost control of both governments.
Well, for the first time in many weeks, Dolton trustees and Mayor Tiffany Henyard held a public meeting together, but not at Village Hall.
The drama in Dolton, Illinois, is like nothing you've ever seen before. It's a real-life political thriller, with all the twists and turns you'd expect from a Hollywood script. At the center of it all is Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons: legal battles, financial scandals, and a growing list of enemies. But what's really going on behind the scenes? And just how far will Henyard go to hold on to her power? Let's dive into this wild story and find out how a small-town mayor ended up at the center of one of the most chaotic political sagas we've ever seen.
A Dolton home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now she wants her.
To set the stage, Tiffany Henyard was elected as the mayor of Dolton in 2021. It was a big deal at the time. Henyard, a young, ambitious politician, seemed like a fresh face who could lead the village into a brighter future. But things started going south almost immediately. Within weeks of taking office, Henyard was already facing criticism for her spending habits and the way she was running the town. And that was just the beginning. Fast forward to today, and Henyard's administration is in complete disarray. Oh, and did we mention she's also facing eviction from her own home? Yeah, it's that bad. Let's start with the legal drama. Henyard has been at odds with the Dolton Village Board of Trustees for months, ever since they started questioning her spending and some of her more, let's say, unusual decisions. Things got so bad that the trustees actually took her to court and managed to get a temporary restraining order against her. The order blocked several key appointments she had made, including a controversial pick for police chief, Ronnie Burge Sr. The court ruled that Henyard didn't have the authority to make those appointments without the board's approval, but she went ahead and did it anyway. Classic Tiffany.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
And that's not all. The trustees have also accused Henyard of trying to consolidate power by appointing a new village manager and a village attorney again, all without their approval. It's like she's running the town as her personal fiefdom, and the board isn't having it. But Tiffany, being Tiffany, isn't backing down. In fact, she's doubling down. When the court issued the restraining order, you'd think she might take a step back and reconsider her approach, right? Wrong. Instead, she kept pushing forward, even going so far as to ignore the order entirely. The board's lawyer is now asking the court to hold her in contempt, claiming that Burge hasn't surrendered his keys, badge, or uniform to the police department, as the order required. It's like a bad soap opera, but with real consequences.
Henyard's landlord showed up here to see her tenant in person after she says Henyard has been dodging both her and rent payments for months.
And while all of this is happening, Henyard is also dealing with some serious personal legal issues. She and her boyfriend Kamal Woods are facing eviction from their rented home. Their landlord, Janetta Hull, claims they haven't paid rent since August and now owe over $3,000 in back payments. Hull says she's tried everything to get the couple to pay up, but they've been dodging her at every turn. They've even changed the locks in the garage door code to keep her out. Talk about shady. Hull has filed an eviction lawsuit, but serving the papers has been a challenge. According to reports, the sheriff's office has tried and failed multiple times to serve the lawsuit at both the house and the village hall. And now, Hull is paying a process server to track them down. It's a messy situation, and it's just one more problem on Henyard's already overflowing plate.
Does all this point the finger to Tiffany or allow me? I'm over it. Now it's time for me.
But here's the kicker. Even with all of this going on, Henyard is still running for re-election. Yep, you heard that right. Despite the lawsuits, the restraining orders, the eviction notice, and the FBI investigation, she's determined to stay in power. On Facebook, she announced her re-election campaign with a bold statement: attention, 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 attention. I am running for re-election for mayor of Dolton. It's almost like she's daring people to try and stop her. And stop her, they are trying. Trustee Jason House, who's running against Henyard in the upcoming election, has been one of her most vocal critics. He's part of a slate of candidates called the Clean House Team, and they're focused on restoring order to the village after what they see as Henyard's chaotic leadership. House has accused Henyard of making life difficult for small businesses in Dolton, claiming that the process to get a business or liquor license under her administration has become a nightmare. According to him, you need a lawyer just to navigate the system, which wasn't the case before.
You are a clown. We will continue to speak out against wrongdoing.
Why won't you step down?
But Henyard isn't going down without a fight. In recent meetings, she's made it clear that she believes she's going to win in a landslide, comparing herself to Donald Trump in one of her more tone-deaf moments. Just like Trump, I'm coming in on a landslide, she said at a recent board meeting, clearly not reading the room or the mounting legal challenges against her. Speaking of those legal challenges, let's talk about the FBI investigation. According to multiple reports, Henyard is under federal scrutiny for her spending and the way she's been using taxpayer dollars. Former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot, who's now working as a consultant for the Dolton Village Board, conducted an investigation into the town's finances and found some pretty alarming things. For starters, the general fund balance in Dolton dropped from over $5 million in 2022 to a deficit of more than $3 million by May 2024. That's a huge financial hole for a small town, and it raises serious questions about how Henyard has been managing the village's money. Lightfoot's report also revealed that Henyard has been using the village credit card for what can only be described as personal shopping sprees. One statement showed she spent over $43,000 on Amazon in a single day. Let that sink in for a minute. $43,000 on Amazon. What could she possibly be buying with that much money? Your guess is as good as ours.
And Micah, tonight was a special board meeting because business has not gotten done at 2 previous meetings. So that's some progress there. But this meeting was not without its fair share of tension.
But it doesn't stop there. Henyard has also been accused of using taxpayer money to fund lavish parties and events. One block party she organized in collaboration with Thornton Township, where she also serves as supervisor, cost a whopping $85,000. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Critics say she's been throwing parties and events left and right, all while the village is sinking further into debt. Residents aren't happy, to say the least. At a recent board meeting, one community member stood up and called Henyard the most infamous mayor in America, saying that she's more focused on protecting herself than protecting the village. And honestly, can you blame them for feeling that way? With all the chaos surrounding her administration, it's hard to see how she's doing what's best for the town. It's not just the residents who are fed up either. Several trustees have openly criticized Henyard for her handling of the town's finances and her constant power grabs. In fact, things got so bad that a judge recently had to step in and block some of her most recent staffing decisions, ruling that they violated both the Illinois Municipal Code and the Dolton Village Code. The judge's ruling essentially voided the appointments of her new village attorney, special counsel, and executive assistant, all of whom she tried to bring on board without the trustees' approval.
But you don't even have the sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
The tension between Henyard and the trustees has been brewing for months, but it seems to have reached a boiling point recently. At a board meeting earlier this year, the trustees tried to hold Henyard accountable for her spending by filing a lawsuit against her, alleging that she forged checks and withheld financial records. During that meeting, Henyard lashed out at the trustees, accusing them of being haters and implying that they were only attacking her because she's a black woman in power. You all should be ashamed of yourselves because you all are black. You all are black, she said, and you all are sitting up here beating and attacking a black woman that's in power. But her critics aren't buying it. Trustee Kiana Belcher, who used to support Henyard but has since turned against her, says the mayor's behavior has become unbearable. The community does not want to continue under her leadership, Belcher said. I'm not shocked because I know her, definitely not shocked. Belcher also pointed out that Henyard's spending is completely out of control, with millions of dollars being wasted on overtime pay for police officers who are essentially serving as her personal security detail.
We talked to Tiffany Henyard's landlord, and she says she came to this Thornton Township meeting Tuesday night hoping to get paid what she says she's owed.
And that brings us to one of the wildest parts of this whole story, Henyard's use of the Dolton Police Department. According to multiple reports, she's been using police officers not just as her bodyguards, but also as backup dancers in her music videos. Yes, you heard that right. There are actual videos of Henyard dancing around with police officers at town events, and it's raising more than a few eyebrows. Critics say it's just another example of her using public resources for her personal gain, and they're demanding that it stop. One fan commented, "This girl has been yoking these people's chain for 2 years. They cannot get a muzzle on her." Another added, "No way she has the ability or know how to do these things on her own. Find the PL helping her name them publicly and put an end to this little town's suffering." It's clear that people are frustrated and want answers, but Henyard seems content to keep stringing them along.
It's a power grab. That's it. Power and money grab.
So the big question is, will she survive this? Or is this the beginning of the end for Dolton's super mayor? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Henyard is done for, or does she still have a few tricks up her sleeve? We'd love to hear your thoughts on this wild story. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on this and other crazy political sagas.